So it looks like there's going to be Bitcoin ETFs, at least that is the rumor. Now, were those rumors actually the source behind this major pump that Bitcoin just had recently as I was preparing for this video, and it ran up a staggering $4,000 in a matter of minutes? Now, some of that has pulled back, but in this video, I'm going to tell you what XRP did, what it's going to be doing in its correlation to Bitcoin, and what is some of the breakout price levels for XRP, and what could possibly trigger it. So I'm going to be talking about the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF, the Grayscale Bitcoin ETF, as well as some of what the technical indicators are saying about both Bitcoin and XRP. Hey everybody, my name is Randy. Welcome back to the Late Night Grind, and right now we are covering cryptocurrency news, investment markets, and personal finance. So if any or all these topics interest you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, join the Late Night Grind community, and if you do a couple things, I'd appreciate it. Smash the thumbs up button and watch this video all the way to the end. Those really are the two best things you can do to support a YouTube channel. So if you do that, I greatly appreciate it. All right, guys, let's jump into it. And before I get to talking about the major Bitcoin price pump, I wanted to mention that if you didn't catch that pump, if you wish you could have been on your computer trading Bitcoin, getting in along and maximizing that pump, well, you don't have to do that yourself. You can actually click the link in the description below and go to Fairdesk. This is where you can sign up, make a deposit, and top tier traders that are doing the trading, that see all these moves and make the according moves, well, they're going to be doing trading, and what you can do is do copy trading, and so when they make profit, you make profit as well. Fairdesk, of course, is a partner of the Late Night Grind community, so go ahead and sign up, make a deposit today. If you're one of the top 3 depositors this week, you'll get a free $100 added to your account. So after this video, make sure you go do that. So like I said, $4,000 that Bitcoin rose in a matter of minutes. Now, some people are saying this is a lot of the speculative nature of Bitcoin, especially due to the Bitcoin ETFs of BlackRock and Grayscale, and the quote-unquote good news or breaking news that just broke earlier today regarding the chances of them actually getting approved by the SEC. However, I don't fully agree with that because a lot of that news was breaking earlier today. This Bitcoin pump happened later in the day. In my opinion, this was a major short squeeze, as over $1.1 billion worth of Bitcoin shorts, meaning people that were thinking the price was going to go down, were liquidated, and that is what caused a major price move. Now, this is why I'm thinking it, because XRP, well, it had a move up as well, but not nearly as drastic. And in my opinion, that is a good thing. Because if you would have seen a major correlation between XRP and the Bitcoin price, XRP would have spiked probably to 60, 65 cents or even higher if it had the same amount of leveraged shorts going against it, meaning people that would have gotten squeezed out or liquidated and thus driving the price up. However, in my opinion, it doesn't look like the open interest against XRP, meaning the amount of people shorting XRP and the amount of XRP being shorted is just not there, which in my opinion means XRP has much more support, much more bullish support moving into the future. So in future moves, when you see Bitcoin make moves like this and you see XRP make a similar move but not nearly to the same level, well, it's probably because there aren't as many people thinking that XRP price is going to be going south than there was Bitcoin. So in my opinion, this was more of a technical move, not necessarily a move based on the news. So let's get into that news, because today there's two pieces of breaking news that have been happening. One, the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF. There was some major news that dropped on X regarding an amendment that BlackRock had made to their application that was not on the original. And some very sharp-eyed sleuth actually picked this out. What they are doing is that they have put some language into the application about seeding. This has to do with the amount of Bitcoin they're going to be seeding, prices, price per unit, and the date in which they're going to be doing it. Now, some of the speculation is that this is because they are getting prepped, because they have a pretty good feeling, wink wink, that this application is going to be approved, and they need to seed it so that from day one it can be traded, sold, and bought right from the get-go. So from this application, there were, of course, a lot of spaces left blank, including the date. However, what was hard-coded into that application, into that amendment, was the month of October. Well, it says to some people that this is going to be approved before the end of the month. Of course, that date was left blank, but we'll have to see if that actually moves into November and if they'll have to make another amendment regarding that purchase date, that seeding date. But right now, some people are thinking, well, we're headed towards the end of the month. we could be seeing a spot Bitcoin application approved by then. The other big news regarding Bitcoin ETFs is, of course, that of Grayscale. They had a major lawsuit against the SEC when the SEC first rejected their application back in the summer. If you remember, well, recently Grayscale has had some major court wins against the SEC. The most recent one coming earlier today when the U.S. Court of Appeals said that the SEC must review Grayscale's amended Bitcoin application. And there's a lot of people saying that this is it, this is the one that is going to go through. And if you've seen some of the recent interviews that Gary Gensler, the chairman of the SEC, has been talking about, up until this point, everything has been very negative in nature towards cryptocurrencies. It seems to be a little bit flipped because you can almost see in his tone that they are resigned to knowing that there's going to be a Bitcoin ETF approved shortly. Other than the fact that he said we're looking at a bunch of them right now, he didn't really answer any technicals. And of course, he's not going to say whether or not they will be approved. But some of the language, some of the body language, and some of the speculation from the insiders that have been talking to people at the SEC say it's more than likely going to happen because they are now forced from a legal standpoint to review it, and if they can't come up with any good reason to review it, they of course have to accept it. So let's look at some time frames. If this of course happens at the end of October for iShares, which is BlackRock, you would have to imagine that the Grayscale one might be approved at the exact same time. From my count, there is about 8 to 10 applications right now that the SEC have in front of them. Even Gary Gensler said there are multiple applications that they're reviewing at the same time. I don't know if they would actually go ahead and approve all of them at the same time. If they'll do it one by one, who really knows? All we know is BlackRock, which is of course a friend of the central banks worldwide, which is of course what the SEC is sworn to protect. You'd have to see if they get the nod first over everybody else. Now, I wanted to shift over and talk about XRP in terms of its price and its price movements. Because right now, like I said earlier in this video, they're moving right along with Bitcoin, although it doesn't have as wild of fluctuations as Bitcoin has been having, which in my opinion is a good thing. There's not as much open interest or shorts against XRP. Now, if we're going to be looking at what the ETFs could do for Bitcoin, we have to be looking at some of the technical indicators that could be happening for XRP and be the fuel for a major XRP pump. Now, forget some of the price speculations about the Bitcoin bull run and what that could do for the rest of the altcoin market, what that could do for XRP in terms of its top end price. Let's talk about the near term, November. This is a point where it's interesting because right around the same time that Bitcoin could be getting some ETF approvals, XRP could be coming to a head in terms of its months, even year-long major descending triangle in which it's been fluctuating between both support and resistance levels. Some of the technical analysis that I've been watching, which includes RSI volume numbers, which has of course been growing, and watching this wedge that has been growing, that has been going on for nearly a year, has been coming to a head, and typically the end of this triangle means a huge movement up. XRP has been scraping along the bottom of its bottom resistance level, which has been trending up all year long. This is typically a signal that the price of XRP is going to bounce off that essentially one final time, break out of that descending triangle, and shoot skyward. If that happens at the same time of Bitcoin ETF or a Bitcoin ETF application could spur the price movement of XRP to absolutely skyrocket. That's what we need to be looking at. The end of October into even December is a time frame that you should be looking at very closely in terms of XRP price moves. Very quick XRP price moves, might I add. You can follow me on X. There's links in the description below, as well as several other legal analysis and very pro XRP people that you want to follow on X. There's some credible discussions. You can have a conversation with me there as well. So thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end, for smashing that thumbs up button. And as always, I'll see you guys on the next video.